Gjør klart til opptak. Fluffer?
No.
Please, 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 please.
You're still playing detective. How quick?
I can assure you that I can get to the bottom of this for a never so professional fee.
Murder, missing treasure, ghosts.
9 lives, this one.
Hello, welcome to Unrestricted View Film Festival. My name's James Wren and I'm the festival director. For this episode today, I'm joined by Tom Bridger and Charles Cromwell from the fantastic Self-Help. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hello.
Good, well, thanks.
Good, good, good. Now, Tom, we chatted the other day about another sort of web series thing you have on. So I'm going to ask Charles, if I may, how have you found lockdown?
Oh God, interesting. As with most actors, I do another job alongside, to kind of keep the pennies rolling in, and that, in my case, happens to be delivering pizzas for a local Pizza Hut delivery store. So we've been really busy,
Yeah, I bet.
all the way through. So it hasn't really kind of stopped for me. But on the acting side, I have worked over the years with a fantastic director called Ben Blythe, who's currently doing his PhD on the early Shakespeare plays in Canada. He married a Canadian actress. And so through lockdown, he kind of put together an international group of actors that he likes working with.
Right.
And we've been doing every Sunday, we've been doing Zoom readings of Shakespeare's plays. And some others that are kind of contemporary as well. And out of that, we actually did 2 full-on Zoom productions, one of Hamlet and one of Macbeth.
Brilliant.
So yeah, so we've kind of,
but we did a little web series on Zoom. So which one?
Yeah, no, exactly. But the thing is, it keeps the acting muscles going, and the standard. I mean, I've been doing Shakespeare for a lot of years. That's how I know Tom. But what's really good is the standard of the reading of Shakespeare has gone up enormously. I mean, last weekend we read All's Well That Ends Well, which nobody really knew. I've never done it, despite having performed, I think, over 40 Shakespeare plays. So we all approached it cold, but the standard of the reading was exceptional after a year of doing it. So yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. So I've kept busy.
Good. That's good to hear. Yes, it's sort of, I think some people have struggled a lot during this last year, but it's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, taking the bull by the horns and riding COVID. I don't know what else. I don't know what I was trying to say there. So Tom, tell us how all this came about.
Well, Self-Help itself is something that Bethan and I, the co-writer, who sadly can't be here today, but actually, if I can just get this to work, we can include them. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, there we go. Bethan, the co-creator and co-writer. Oh no, but the other actors have had their faces cut off. But anyway, Bethan and I have been working on this script on and off since 2014, 2015, something like that. And it's been a half-hour sitcom script for most of that. And then over time, it became like a web series, and then we cast Emma and Sally, who were actors in the agency that I'm part of, Q&T Management, one of the best agents out there. Yes, we had actually all been set to film these live in person in London in March 2020, and then something happened, and we had to put all that on hold, and we thought we were going to have to wait until after lockdown was over. But then Sally, who plays Trisha, spoke to my agent and wondered if there was a way of doing it via Zoom. And can I add, this predates David Tennant and Michael Sheen and their fancy little things. So, you know, I don't want to say I don't want to cast any aspersions here, but Bethan and I discussed this idea about doing it on Zoom, and then suddenly David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Coincidence? I don't know. I mean, Bethan and Michael Sheen are both from Port Talbot in Wales, so
that's definitely
conspiracy theories abound, you know.
Yeah. So you all sort of knew each other before you sort of came to.
Yes. Well, Bethan and I have known Chaz for forever, just
too
forever.
many years.
And in fact, I think his character was the only character that we had with someone in mind immediately. Like, it had always been written knowing that we were writing lines and thinking, oh, it would be funny when Chaz says this. And what's interesting with Emma and Sally is that their readings of the characters changed how we've written it, and we've since written some new scripts that we're going to be hopefully shooting later on in this year, either on Zoom or in person. We don't know yet, depending on vaccines and stuff. But we've been writing more towards how they've played it, as opposed to how we thought of the characters initially. Sort of Veronica was a bit more of a harsh character before, whereas the way Emma plays her, she's not quite Paddington Bear, but there's a bit more of an innocence to her than I think we put in there. And similarly, Sally's version of Trisha is a bit less willing to put up with crap than we had initially. She'd been a bit more meek initially, whereas the way that Sally's been playing her, there's just a bit more attitude there, which is great. It's always nice to adapt these things. Whereas Chaz just sort of immediately just got into what we did. He made it. I think he added to the desperation of the character, like his desperation at all his gambling debts. I think Chaz really upped the level there.
Fantastic. So are you planning to carry on with it, more series?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As I say, we were initially, the plan is to shoot it over summer on Zoom, but we don't know about what's going to come up with the vaccine and stuff, and we have always would have preferred to have shot it live and in person. So if that becomes an option, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. Yes. So, I mean, is that something you'd prefer to do then?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I don't know if the mockumentary feel of it really comes across so much on Zoom. And also, as the year goes on and more people become vaccinated and able to go outside, I'm not sure how much people will want to watch something of two people on Zoom. I have a feeling that most people will never want to watch a Zoom chat ever again after this. So, yeah, it depends. But if there's a third wave, who knows?
No, yeah, you've got it there just in case, I suppose. So that's brilliant. So, I mean, Charles, what's next for you? What have you got coming up?
Oh goodness. Well, I've got a commercial that's out at the moment. So yeah, that was good. It's kind of basically whatever my agent sends my way. I'm with Ashrow Talent Management, who are also brilliant agents. A bit of agent competition there, but I do love them. So yeah, so it's like, you know, any actor, it's just it's what comes along, really. You know, I tend to do anything. I love doing stage stuff, but obviously that's completely been kiboshed over the last year or so. So yeah, it's just a case of whatever and whenever. Christmas, you'll usually find me playing Santa somewhere. I've actually, that's a fairly recent thing. I've only done that the last couple of years. the year before last, I was doing Polar Express out of Birmingham, which was just fantastic. And it was just one of the loveliest gigs I think I've ever done. And I was hoping to have been doing that last year, but obviously COVID got in the way of that completely. We did manage with a company down at Blue Water in Dartford to do a sort of a Santa type grotto thing, but it was all socially distanced. But then suddenly the new lockdown hit, and that kind of put the kibosh on that slightly early. But,
I was going to ask, did the mask go over the Santa beard or under the Santa beard?
No, there was no mask. The elves were masked, but Santa was at a distance behind actually two kind of barriers. So
delegating.
So it didn't need to be, and there could only be kind of, I think, 3 or 4 tiny family groups in the room at any one time. They kind of like went through different things. It was jolly hard work. And yeah, not as much fun as Polar Express. I'm really hoping that happens again this year, because that's just one of the most magical things I think I've ever done.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's hope so too. Tom, remind us what you're up to next.
Hopefully more self-help in person or on Zoom, whatever form that takes. Also, Dean McMahon, which is How to Be Like a Man, the web series, which is also entered into your festival. Thank you very much. We're hoping to do some more of those in whatever form those take as well. And I'm also in a similar boat to Chaz in terms of auditioning remotely for whatever my agent comes up with for me. And yeah, fingers crossed. You'll see me on trying to sell you something at some point.
Fantastic. I look forward to buying it. That's great, guys. Thanks so much for chatting to us today. And you can see Self-Help as part of the web series screening on Wednesday, the 28th of April next week. And you can get...
Oh, my birthday.
Is it?
Oh,
yes.
So it's on... so you can see Self-Help on Charles's birthday. And tickets can be got at unrestrictedview.co.uk or uvff.co.uk. Thanks, guys, for chatting today.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Pleasure. I'll see you soon. Take care.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Veronica. Moses. The teeth and the tongue and the teeth and the lips. The teeth and the tongue and the tip of... I had a hippopotamus. I kept him in my shed. Oh. Ready.